My name is Himanshu and I'm back in another video in which I'm going to give a very short and crisp analysis of English section which comes in CDS exam, that is Combined Defense Services exam. This video is going to be very important, so please watch this video till the end. And till now, if you have not subscribed the channel, please do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss the any future videos. And also don't forget to like the channel. Moving on, CDS exam, as you all know, is conducted by UPSC, that is Union Public Service Commission. This exam is conducted twice a year, and age limit for this exam is 19 to 24. There are three different sections which comes into the written CDS examination, which is English, General Knowledge, and Elementary Mathematics. All three sections comprise of 200 marks, and basically 2 hours are given to attempt the paper. For every correct answer, you will be awarded 1 mark, and for every wrong answer, you will be given minus 1/3 mark. Right? Moving on to the pattern of the exam. Right? So this English paper is basically divided into various further subsections, starting from reading comprehensions, idioms, synonym antonyms, spotting the errors, ordering of words and sentences, ordering of sentences. Don't confuse in these two are different things, but basically the rule and the basis are same. Next is fill in the blanks, parts of speech, and spelling mistake. In my further video, I'll be talking in bit details about these further subsections. In this table, I have given the tentative number of questions which can be asked in the paper. So the different number of questions you can see from the table, and also over here in this I have given the level of questions which are asked in the paper. So basically the complete paper varies from easy to moderate level, right? Generally not very difficult questions are asked, so this is going to be the general pattern of the paper. Moving on to the reading comprehensions. Now basically in this section you will be given 2 passages. Generally this is the trend. In each passage you will be asked 5 questions each, and each question carries 1 mark, right? Passages are generally not very long. Personally, what I do is, this is my personal practice. Before jumping onto the paragraph, I read questions, right? So that I know where in the passage I should emphasize, and generally passages are easy scoring. Now in this section I have given a few important tricks which I use to attempt this paper. So first is, do not read the passage first. As I mentioned, always try and read the questions first. Also basically this will prepare you to focus on things you need to look in the passage. I'm talking about when you're reading the questions, and always focus only on the questions and not on a particular answer option. A quick overview of the questions is sufficient, right? Next is, do not memorize the question. Do not memorize the RC, reading comprehensions. Since everything is there in the hard copy, there is no need to memorize any of the part of reading comprehensions. Next is, do not waste time on RC, on which you can comprehend in first go. Which means when you can basically comprehend what is written in the passage, there is no requirement of reading it again and again. And any of the options out of the 4 options or 5 options, sometimes the option which is out of scope is never the correct answer. You'll easily understand by reading the options that whether the option which is given is from the passage or out of the scope. So always leave that answer. You can always eliminate that basically. So elimination works here. Next is idioms and phrases. Now, for idioms and phrases, uh, basically two things work here. First is understanding and cramming. So both things work hand in hand. And for this section particularly, I would recommend you either read book which are there, like basically of Arihant, in which there is a dedicated chapter of idioms and phrases. You have to learn it, right? You have to understand it and learn it. Or there is another option. You can always find videos made by the experts on YouTube on particular topics. So one video which I came across was um, by a teacher. Um his channel name is Dear Sir. I'll write the name here. Dear Sir. So when you search on the YouTube, you just need to write idioms and phrases by Dear Sir. You'll get the video, and you can uh, see the video. In that video, he has given 550, basically not 50 important idioms and phrases which are generally asked in the government exams. In this video, I have given a very common example of idioms and phrases, which is breaking the ice, which means basically to ease out the environment. You can read the definition which I've written here, but the main meaning is the actual meaning is to ease out the environment. For example, I try to break the ice by taking the people next to me about the weather. Or you can say, when you go for the interview breaks the ice um, by making the environment comfortable for the interviewer, right? So this is a very simple example which I've taken. Further, I've taken few more examples which you can see. The first is give someone the cold shoulder, which means ignore someone. Go on a wild goose chase, which is like to do something pointless. Good things come to those who wait, which means be patient. And the next is he has bigger fish to fry, which means he has bigger things to take care of than what we are talking about now. Simple. Let's move ahead. So now we are talking about spotting the errors. Now, spotting the errors is basically not a big deal. The only point to note here is you just need to understand which kind of errors are generally asked in the CDS exam, right? And this you can do by analyzing the previous year's question papers. So when you are doing the previous year question papers, I request if you can just note down which all kinds of errors are being asked in the previous question papers. For example, like they can be spotting the errors questions on verbs, there can be errors on adjectives, interjections, nouns, pronouns, whatever, right? You just make note of 2 3 papers. You'll realize that okay, how many questions are asked from which topic, and in this way you'll be able to understand uh, where your focus should be the maximum. My another recommendation would be here to take a short course on grammar rules, which is freely available on YouTube by the name of Neha Chauhan. I'll uh, I'll write name here once again. It is Neha Chauhan. This is my personal recommendation. Otherwise, there are various other uh, channels which are floating on the YouTube. You can always take help from them for learning the grammar part. Basically, if you know the grammar perfectly, you can easily attempt the paper and easily crack CDS exam or beat any exam. So grammar is must when it comes to English, right? So let's remove this first before moving further. So now we are coming on to the examples. There are a few examples which I have discussed here. Though you can read it and you can use them for a practice session, but let's discuss one or two out of these few. So first says Ram told his sister that I could exercise that day. So this is very simple. Ram told his sister that he could exercise that day. So what will come? The answer is very simple. C has error. In place of I, there'll be he, which signifies Ram, because Ram is telling his sister that he wants to, that he could exercise that day. It is of it, he's talking of the past. So this is basically the active passive voice, right? Not very difficult. Similarly, you can read the second question. It says, you may not know it, but this engine is claimed to have twice as powerful as the previous one. This is very simple. Uh, what you can do, you can just write the answer for this in the comment section below. And the third question says, Pramod said that he preferred a white shirt than colored one on any festive occasion. This is very, very favorite type of spotting the errors question in CDS exam. That's why I've given explanation as well on the down below, which says wherever there is a comparison, which means like superior, senior, junior, or and after prefer. So wherever these terms are there, there'll be the term which will be suffix. It'll be to and not than. So the error would be in C. Let's read it again once again. Pramod said that he preferred a white shirt to colored one, not than, right? On any festive occasion. That's it. Moving further. So the next is ordering of words in a sentence. Now, this part is my favorite, as I feel this is the easiest part in the English exam. I'll try and explain this with an example which is there on the screen. So first example says there are four options and four basically words which you have to rearrange and make a sensible sentence. So my recommendation would be here is to go by the options, right? When you know the options, you can easily make out which word will go where and how it will make a better sentence or a sensible sentence in a much faster way. Let's try with the examples. A, what says PQRS? So P, for long and no, it is rejected. It cannot start from P because it is not making any sense. Next is S. S is agriculture has been. Yes, agriculture has been. Q, the backbone of India, will continue to be. No, it is basically nonsense, I would say. Next is SQPR. Agriculture has been the backbone of India for long and will continue to be the same. I think this is making some sense. Not this, basically this, right? Okay, so let's move on to the second question, which says there are four options again. Let's read out the options first. There can be P, S, S, and Q. Three options are there in the first sentence. Let's try with the first one. P. It is well known that, yes, it fits. Second is Q. It is well known that the effect of cinema. Next is S, is very bad on children. Yeah, that is the perfect sentence, which is making sense, right? But you can try with the other sentences. You can start with, you can try the B option. S is very bad. It is well known that there is no sense. Then Q, the effect of cinema is very bad on children. It is well known that. No, it is not making sense, right? So the right answer is A. Moving on to the ordering of sentence. There is no difference. There is no basically big difference between ordering of words in sentences and ordering of sentences. The only difference here is in the ordering of words in a sentence is there are smaller parts of a sentence which are arranged to make a sensible sentence. But in this part of the paper, there are bigger sentences which are supposed to be arranged in a way to make a proper sensible paragraph, right? So where ordering of words in a sentence was very easy, since the sentence was a smaller one, the ordering of sentences here is going to be little tricky one. So you need to put much more efforts and focus to before attempting this part of the paper, right? You need not to hurry in this section, because most of the times, if not most of the times, many a times, the sentences are placed in such a manner that it makes you confused, right? So I hope I am clear in this section. Be very diligent before while attempting this part of the paper. Moving on, fill in the blanks. Now, fill in the blanks I think is not a new thing which needs an introduction. In this section, you'll be given a sentence, and there will be a missing word which you have to find out in the options. It can be an article, verb, adjective, phrase, etc. Anything, right? So if you have an understanding of grammar rules, you'll be able to attempt the question correctly. And again, the classes by Neha Chauhan, as I mentioned previously as well, they can help you in this section as well, right? So let's try some examples here. Where there is a dash, there is a way. Very simple, you must have heard it as well. It's a well-known sentence. Where there is a will, there is a way. Even if I don't have options, I can always attempt this question. So answer is C. France dash large amount of its electricity from nuclear power. फ्रांस जो है वो अपनी लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी न्यूक्लियर पावर से क्या makes, generates, uses. Whenever it's about electricity, it is generated, it is not made, right? It's a sensible thing. So this is the standard of the fill in the blanks in CDS paper. I think they are very easy, so you can always there should not be any difficulty in attempting them and getting marks. Make sure you don't miss out on marks in this section. This is very easy, right? Moving on, parts of speech. Now this is little tricky. Questions in this section also, the number of questions can vary from 10 to 15, and level of the questions can vary from easy to moderate. There is not much of a difference in fill in the blanks and parts of speech. The only difference is in the fill in the blanks, there is a blank in the sentence. In this part of speech, the sentence is complete, but one word of the sentence is underlined, and you are asked whether it is noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, what, right? So an example is in front of you. I want you to read it, look at the answers, and write solution A, B, C, D, which one is correct, in the comment section below, right? I hope so far whatever I tried to explain in this video is very clear. And even if there is any doubt so far, you can always write in the comment section below. I'll definitely get back to you. Now I think this is the last section. This is spelling mistake. Very simple, as easily understandable by the name itself. There'll be question, there'll be 4 options, and in out of four options, there'll be only one option which is correct, and correction is in the spelling, right? So for example, pneumonia, there are 4 different spellings are given for pneumonia. Only one is correct. Very simple. It is the A, PNEUMONIA, pneumonia. In the second, ecstasy. Again, ecstasy, there are 4 different ecstasy, ecstasy. Again, first one is correct, right? So these are few of the options for examples which I have tried to discuss here in this video. I don't want to make this video much longer. I hope whatever things which we have discussed here are clear in this video. And if you have any doubt at all in any part of the video, please write in the comment section below. Feel free to ask questions, because if you'll ask questions, your doubts are cleared, right? exam is coming. My only suggestion to you is start practicing. When you practice English, only then you understand, the nuances of English. English is not our first language, for most of us, if not all. And that's why we are tested on English, because English is something which is uh, a preferred language and official language, basically, which is used in the offices in India. So you have to have a basic understanding of the English. They're not judging you for a very high level of English. They are judging you only on a very basic English level, right? uh, I think this is it. And thank you so much for listening to the complete video. And if you have not pressed the like, subscribe, and bell icon, I request please do it. It really gives me motivation and to make more such videos. And if you have any suggestion, whether you want videos in Hindi, bilingual, English, whatever, please write in the comment section below. I'll try and implement it. Till then, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and work hard. Thank you. Bye bye.